So we will have one warm-up round here. This is a difficult map. The start of this map includes a right-handed dirt turn where you can maintain the upper gear. You can go to 5th gear and maintain, you can go to 4th gear and maintain 4th gear in the start, which Jnic Costo did perfectly here in the start. And then you want to remain on the outside line of the dirt coming afterwards to be able to maintain as much speed as possible without getting any airtime once you transition onto the asphalt. Right here, you also want to go for a super outside dirt line. You can see him trying to go as far outside as possible, also without getting any airtime on the transition onto the asphalt. Right here, you want to go for a line that gives you the exact amount of speed that you need to be able to land right in front of the booster that you land on after the jump. The reason you want to land in front of the booster is if you land on the middle of the booster, if you have too much speed, then you don't get enough speed from the booster, and the subsequent jump you do into the finish is going to be super slow. So we're going to look at the players and we're going to look at the lines. The lines that we're going to look for are the first upper gear here in the first turn. We're going to look at the people that are going to get the 4th gear in the first turn. Going to go super wide here and going to avoid the airtime. See, Jnic just got a little bit of airtime and it makes him do a small drift. You can avoid that completely and it's going to increase your speed quite tremendously. It is a hard line to get, but it is a line that definitely saves time. Do we know which team picked this map? No. Okay, so 20 seconds left of the warm-up here. Let's see if Radiance knows how to get this first upper gear. Now, it's not the end of the world if you don't get the 4th gear in the beginning. You can still definitely get a good line. He did it right there. You see him. He did a right-handed turn into the dirt turn, and then he counter-steered to make sure that he did not drift while he geared up. Because as you guys know, if you drift while gearing up, you're gonna lose a lot of speed. Okay, into the first round, spectating Radiance right here. Looking at all the players, everybody's gonna try to get that upper gear, 4th gear right here. Radiance seems to be the one that gets it the best. Going for a wide line, as I said. Trying to get no airtime right here. He got a little bit of airtime, but no drift, which is still going to preserve a lot of his speed. He's going to go for a super nice high line right here. Does not want to touch the outside wall and does not do it perfectly. Also going for a wide line without any airtime before the road transition. He did have to do a little bit of a brake tab right there or a release, but it does look fine because Kato and Radiance are going to get first and second unless Jnic Costo has something to say about it. He is lagging a little bit. You see both the players are landing before the booster to get as much speed into the finish as possible. And it does look like Radiance, Kato, and Aztec Dunster gets 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and therefore secures the first point. First point to Denmark. Let's take a look at Frev for a second here. Frev playing for Team Portugal, also definitely a well-versed player. Does accidentally hit the outside wall there, and that is definitely something you don't want to do. And we're going to take a look at Pika, who is currently in position 6. That doesn't make sense. He should be in 5th there. There's something wrong with the thing. But anyway, I think it's going to say 6 every time. But he touches the outside wall as well, and Denmark just has to casually drive this into the finish. I'm sure that Denmark sees the split times down at the bottom right corner, and I'm sure that Denmark knows just to safe it into the finish, and that's going to be it for round 2. Goes to Denmark. Also, I do still have my dashboard overlay up, so if you guys want to see the inputs that the different players make, you can always look at the bottom right side of the screen. It's first to, I can't remember. Professional caster, don't worry about it. Oh, we had a mistake from Radiance in the very beginning. Hits the outside wall, and he's going to be out. So it's going to be up to Dunster and Kato to get first and third or first and second if they want this point. But Jnic is also with the really good line right here, and everybody goes super outside. Let's look at Radiance for a backline view. Pika touches the outside wall on the uphill right there, and they're all going to go super wide. Dunster with a really good lead, but Kato needs to get that 3rd place if Denmark wants to get the victory here. Actually, no. Yes, I'm pretty sure he has to. but it does look fine. Kato and Dunster in the first and second position right now. Frev is trying to take that line from Kato, and he might be able to do it, but if Radiance keeps this position, it's going to be another time for Denmark. Dunster and Kato gets first and third, Radiance with the fifth, and it's going to be another point for Team Denmark. That's the first 3 points for Denmark. It does look like the point limit is 5, so it's first to 5 points. The first team that gets 5 points wins the map. The first team that wins 3 maps wins the game. Okay, we see Radiance going for a super outside line there. God damn. Very close with touching the wall, but he did absolutely miss it. Very, very well done by Radiance. And because of it, he gets so much speed. He gets for a little bit of scuff line right here, but that's how it is. He still is on a very, very demanding first place, going for an outside line, but you can see he doesn't go as outside as he is capable of, because he also does want to save it. He does see that he has 0.1 to the next player, which is Dunster, and 0.3 to the next Portuguese player. So he knows he can just save it into the finish here, and Radiance and Dunster is going to get the first and second place, and the next point right here, point number 4, is going to go to Denmark. Denmark is definitely taking the lead right here. Okay, going into round 5, if we're going to look here at Pika. Pika has unfortunately had a couple of touches during this map, and he is going for the 4th gear. He did get it. Oh, but we have Frev with the wall touch, and he's going to be behind from the very, very start. Pika is getting a little bit of a scuff line, getting a lot of airtime right there, and he's going to end up a little bit further behind. Everybody seems to get the turn perfectly there without any wall touches. Let's see who goes up high. Radiance is going really high, and Pika went so high that he actually touched the wall. That is unfortunate. Radiance and Dunster, as well as Kato, already know that there's a second down to the other Portuguese players, and they just have to safe it into the finish. And first map is gonna go to Denmark. Best of 3 or best of 5? It is a best of 3 maps. No, is it a best of 5? The team that gets 3 wins first, okay? I don't know. The first team that gets 3 map wins, okay? That's what I meant. Don't worry about it. First to 3. Is that best of 5? I don't know. Now, let's look at the next map, which is going to be the next map. This map is not going to be the next map because it was banned, if I believe it. I believe that this was banned, so I think they're just going to go to the next map again. I believe. Skip. I think they're gonna skip this map. Yes. Why is this map banned? Because each team can ban maps in the beginning. So that's why it took a little bit for them to start. Because each team has specific maps they want to ban. I can't remember if map 7 is banned. I thought map 7 was banned. Yeah, Team Denmark actually has some new skins. They look really nice. It does not look like they're gonna skip this map, and therefore we're gonna look at a 2-minute warm-up for each of the teams while we kind of explain some of the fundamentals of this map. Now, this map is a full-on dirt map. And as such, you want to take some specific lines. There's a very small black section, but other than that, it's full-on dirt. Now, when I drive this map in matchmaking myself, I make sure that I hold the lower gear in this first turn right here. As you can see, Dunster is driving the first turn right here. He is holding the lower gear by maintaining the 4th gear instead of gearing up to 5th gear. The reason you don't want to gear up to 5th gear right there is because if you gear up to 5th gear, you do the turn and you gear down again, you're going to lose speed. And therefore, it's better just to remain in the lower gear, have a higher RPM, and then gear up later where you can drive straight. So I think that that's what most people are going to do for this map. Okay? I think that's what most people are going to do for this map. sure, Sean. That's fine. Other than that, after you maintain the 4th gear and you gear up after the turn, you want to go up high on the second wall ride right there, as you can see Dunstan did. You want to go up high there and then go low into the black section. The reason you want to do that is because you just straight up get more speed out of it. That's just a better line, and you want to do that for more speed. And then in the ending, where there's a big 180 turn into the finish, you want to, of course, make sure you don't drift too much. You want to utilize the curvature of the dirt to help your car get in the right direction. If you do the right lines, it's going to be tight, very tight into the corners of the dirt. We're going to see if Dunstan is going to make it there again. He is not. We're just going to jump straight into the game here. Okay. Now, let's see. And we have actually Team Portugal in the lead right now. Dunstan is going to try to see if he can overtake. He goes for a super low line, but Jnic did get that line that I talked about, going from high to low in the transition over to the black section. But it does look like Team Portugal is getting their first point of the match. Let's go, Team Portugal, with Jnic and Crave being first and third. Let's spectate Pika here next round. And as you can see, Pika gets a really good line right there. Maintains the lower gear and makes sure that he doesn't gear up in the wrong time. Crave and Jnic also getting really good lines, and it does look like Team Portugal has a really good understanding of map 7. Crave going for a little bit of an outside line, and Dunstan might be able to overtake him. And both Dunstan and Jnic get to overtake, but it does not matter because Kato gets that last place. And the next round goes to Team Portugal once again. Looking at Pika once again, we can see that Team Denmark, it does seem to go a little bit behind from the start. Dunstan is the only one who seems to be able to put any threat towards Team Portugal right here. Everybody goes for a decent line into the black section, and they're going to want to try to wiggle on the dirt right here, going for an outside line into a tight corner. Everybody does it pretty decently, and it does look like Team Portugal is once again going to get that point. And Denmark is definitely looking a little bit slower on map 7 here. Let's take a look at Crave. Crave does seem to get a good line every single round here. He gets that 5th gear and has to gear down. It is going to slow him down. And Denmark does seem to be in the front seat on this round. Pika with the ring touch. That is unfortunate. Yep, CP. It happens. And Denmark just has to slowly drive into the finish here. Just save it. There you go. Not a problem for Denmark. And Denmark takes round 4. 1 point to Denmark. But are they going to be able to come back here? That's the question. And once again have Crave. We see him get 4th, and he maintains 4th gear as a champ. He gears up to 5th gear on the booster, goes up high on this dirt wall, goes down low for the black section, and gets a really good speed boost. You love to see it. He also tries to go for an outside line with a little bit of wiggle. He actually goes pretty tight, but I think it's going to be just fine. He does see those times on the on the CPs and knows that he can just save it into the finish. Very, very nice. Let us now look at Jnic. Jnic, of course, playing for Team Denmark, is a solid player all around. See him all the time in my matchmaking games. But it does look like Team Portugal is once again just zooming ahead, pressing B for boost, and Jnic is getting the outside line too much, and he unfortunately flies out of the map. Very, very unfortunate. And Portugal is going to take the 5th win on this map, and therefore Portugal is going to get that map win, and it's going to be 1-1 Denmark to Portugal going into the 3rd map. Nadeo doesn't only do TMGL, they also do World Cup. But yeah, I get what you mean. Poland is an incredible team. Yep. Who's the favorite team? I think Germany, one of the Germany teams and the Poland team are going to be the ones in the finals. Maybe the Czech team as well. Or the France team could also do it. And of course Denmark. Of course Denmark. And looking at map 25, we have 2 minutes to kind of quickly explain the map to you guys before we go into the actual gameplay here. So let's just take a look at Dunster while he does his practice session. Now, you want to go for either, you can go for a wide line or a tight line there. It doesn't really matter. I usually choose to go for a tight line. And right here, if you want to go fast, you want to go super tight to that left wall like Jnic did. But it's super, again, just like Jnic demonstrated right there, it's super risky because you can hit the outside border of the next road part. Now right here, some people are going to elect to go straight through the my brain just farted through the my brain is continuously farting. I can't find it. Through the no engine, the engine off block. God damn it. Some people are going to elect to go straight through the engine off, and they're going to lose a little bit of time. If you want to go fast, you want to go between the poles there and take the reset block, gain a little bit more speed, and then take the next engine off block. That is faster. Let's see if anybody is doing that right now. Silky is going to be playing this map. That's very nice. Now, let's see if anybody gets 1 minute, 21 seconds. That will be really good. I don't exactly know what people's pace are in this map. At 128, 29, 130 is not really that great. Looking at Jnic, you can see how inside he's trying to go here. That's what you want to do. And you also want to do a drift here. I choose to release a little bit of my speed right here to make sure that I can go for an inside pole line. So let's see if he does. He does do this. Then you want to do a small brake tap or a drift. Preferably a drift right here. Yes. As to get speed before the next engine off block. This is the fastest way to drive that section of the map. Definitely. Now, let's see which team is going to do this best. Looking at Jnic once again, let's see if he goes for that inside line. All the players are currently driving with a engine off block, so that's why you can't hear their engines, but they just got it back because they drove through the checkpoint. Let's see who goes for a tight line. Everybody seems to trying to go for a tight line, but Jactor got the outside hits. That is unfortunate, and Radiance and Kato are the ones who need to take the point back, getting first and third or first and second if they want any chance of getting the point here. Radiance does hit the outside border, and unfortunately it looks like Denmark is going to be too far behind to be able to get the point. Silky and Jnic must be able to see this on the CP times, and they know they can kind of chill into the finish. Unless their teammate, I actually don't know how far behind their teammate is. Just because of the CP times, they're probably more than like 5 seconds behind. If we look at PK, let's take a look at PK. He is 6th right now. And it actually does look like Denmark could take this back. Kato and Silky fighting for first and second right here. If Kato does get first place, he might be able to get Denmark the point. They're neck and neck right here into the final drop down. Silky and Kato, let's see who's going to win it. Kato does seem to get it if he doesn't do any airtime, and Kato gets it by 10 thousandths of a second, or 100ths of a second. And it does seem like Silky and Jnic are going to get second and third, and Jactor is unfortunately going to get 6th, and the point is going to go to Portugal. But a really good clutch by Kato right there, trying to get the point for Team Denmark. Unfortunately, his teammates couldn't clutch it right out, but still a very, very good performance. Very, very good performance by Kato. Let's take a look at Kato for this round right here. They're all going to go for a pretty inside line, I think. It's definitely the safest line to do. Kato getting the most exit speed right here, and it's going to take a confident first place. also does try to go safe. And Jacktor once again hitting that outside line. He's simply taking in too much speed on that turn. He needs to slow down a little bit. Let's see who goes for the pole, inside pole line. Kato trying to. That's super risky. And Radiance and Kato both get the inside pole line. It's getting first and second. If they just get this, they're half a second ahead of any Portugal players. And if they maintain these positions, it's going to be a point for Denmark. Let's see if Kato and Radiance can do it. How far behind is Jnic? Jnic is just on their tail with Pika. And they're going to have to wish for Denmark to do any sort of mistake if they want to get this point. Because the Danish team is too far ahead for them to be able to overtake at all. They need Denmark to do some sort of mistake. And it does not look like it. The rest of this map is basically just driving into the finish. There's not much you can screw up. So it's just going to be a nice, smooth round into the finish here. Oh, don't worry about it, Stud, because I actually need to go after the game. Oh, okay. So, Denmark with that second point, and it's 1-1. It's looking like a really good game. We also have Schwabber with the raid, and I really appreciate that, Schwabber. Thank you for the raid with the 49 beautiful people. Hello, people. Welcome to my first cast ever. Very unprofessional. All right, let's look at Radiance. They're all going to go for this inside line right here. You can see Silky and Jnic is actually getting it the best. Jacktor did get a really good speed out of that CP. And let's see if he does do the outside wall hit once again. No, he goes for a web. He goes for a very inside line. That is super unfortunate. And Radiance is going to be behind the top 3 players, which are all from Team Portugal. Let's see if Team Portugal all go for the inside line. They all do. They do that really well. Silky, unfortunately, hitting that outside wall. And Radiance is trying to push in on that first place. Maybe Radiance can do it. If he gets first place and Kato gets third, Denmark still has a chance to win it. Radiance does do the overtake and actually gets first place. Let's look at where Kato is here. Kato is pretty far behind. And the only chance Denmark has to get that point is if somebody on the Portugal team loses. Let's take a look at Jnic right here. You can see him on the 3rd place. Looks like Radiance does have the first place down on lock. Pika 2nd, Jnic 3rd, Kato 4th, Silky 5th, and we have Jacktor with the unfortunate bonk on 6th place. And this does look like it's going to be a point for Team Portugal. Yes, it is a point for Team Portugal. But a close one. Is Jake Ray gonna make it? No, I think he DNF'd. Oh, it was Jacktor, sorry. Let's take a look at Jacktor. Let's see if he does do that outside line again. Okay, Jacktor does seem to know how to do the start of this map well. Oh, he had to brake tab right there because otherwise he would have hit the CP. But at least he has less speed right now, and hopefully he's going to be able to do this left-hander perfectly. And it does seem like he does it just fine. Kato, unfortunately, does not get it that well, and it's up to Radiance and Jacktor to see if they can get that 1st and 2nd or 1st and 3rd place. Jnic and Pika does not want to give it up, though. Radiance is going for a pretty risky line right here, but he does it perfectly. Oh, and Pika is going to hit that wall right there. A full bonk from Pika is going to set him behind, and Denmark is now at 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place. If Denmark is going to keep these places, it is going to be a Danish point right here, and Jnic is not going to give up on that 1st place, but it does look like Radiance did take it away from him. And Kato should be able to see that he's more than a second ahead of 5th place, and therefore Danish team just has to save it. Kato got so much speed right here. If you guys didn't know, also in this jump, you want to make sure that you land in front of the booster. If you land in the middle of the booster, you actually lose quite a lot of speed because you want to get as much speed from the booster as possible. So we're looking at another point for Team Denmark. It's going to be 2-2. A very, very close match here on map 25. For the people that just joined, currently the standings are 1 point for Denmark and 1 point for Portugal. They're neck and neck. And right now in the 3rd map, they're also neck and neck with 2-2. Very, very close game right here. Okay, let's look at Jnic. He usually is pretty far ahead. Let's see if he can maintain this very well consistency that he has going on. It does look like everybody did that pretty decently. I didn't see any major mistakes. Radiance and Jactar are getting the first and second place from the beginning, but is anybody going to fail this turn right here? And Radiance does the backflip. Unfortunately, Radiance is going to be out of this round, and we're going to look at Pika, Jactar, and Jack on first, third, and second place. Don't know why I said it like that. And Jack does get a super good line here, but Jactar does as well. Jactar's really trying to gain that on Pika. He has more exit speed out of that no engine section, and he's going to try to see if he can get that time in. But Kato is more than 0.7 behind. So it doesn't really seem too good for Denmark. And both first and second place make a mistake. And Jack is going to take that first place out now. Kato with the second place. Who is going to be behind here? Jactar is behind Silky, and Jack is getting first and third. And it does look like it's a solid victory here for Team Portugal. I don't think Denmark is going to be able to get the point here. Woo, my throat. Now, Jek got first place. Fun fact about Jek, guys, he is deaf, so he's not able to hear the gears. So if you ever thought that, oh my god, it's just hard for me to do the gears because I can't hear them, you have no excuse. Jek is deaf. Taking a look at Jactar. Let's see who gets out of this first turn, the first no engine turn, who gets it the best. You want to go for an inside line. Jactar had to do some adjustments with some extra drifting, and it's going to cost him a little bit of speed, but it's not too bad. He is only 0.2 behind right here. And we have Silky with a little bit of a mistake right there. Jactar with really good speed. Radiance and Jactar are fighting against Yak and Pika for that first 4 positions. They're all going for an inside line. Everybody seems to do it well, but Pika hits the outside wall, and it's going to be Radiance on first place now. Jack on second, and Jactar on third. And if Denmark keeps these positions, it's going to be a point for Team Denmark, but there's definitely more of the map left to go. Going into the small slalom section right here into the left-hander, where you want to keep as much speed for the no engine right here. Does look like everybody seems to be doing it well. You want to do a small brake tab on the uphill right here to make sure you land before the booster. You saw both Yek and Radiance doing the small brake tab, and they both land perfectly on the booster. Very well done by both of them. And it does look like if Denmark just keeps cruising like they're cruising right now, they're going to get this point. There's not much left of the map that you can fail, honestly. And it's going to be a point for Team Denmark. It's going to be 3-3. Very, very exciting game here on map 25 between Team Denmark and Team Portugal. But then again, map 25 has a bunch of places where you're able to crash, or able to do small wall hits, or even able to just do suboptimal lines, which is going to cost you a lot, because a lot of the map is in engine off, and because it's an engine off, you're not able to accelerate. So if you go into an engine off section with a bad speed, you're going to do the entire section with a bad speed, and it's going to cost you a bunch of time. Looking at Jactar again right here, it does look like he's got that start turn on lock. He does do it very consistently. Yek, although, is on first place. Jactar with so good exit speed. You love to see it. Is he going to go for the inside line? He's going to do it well. Hopefully he is doing a little bit of a release in the air here to make sure that you can get the inside line. That's so risky, and he does have to release quite a lot to make it. Pika is going to get... Jactar actually makes a mistake and hits the outside wall, and it's going to be up to Kato and Radiance to be able to overtake Portugal right here. But Silky, Yeg, and Pika is holding down the fort really well. Pika with the first place. And there's all the way as 0.3 that Radiance has to do to get first. And it does look like Kato is trying to get the more speed right here. If he lands better than the others on the booster, he might be able to overtake one person, but not two. I don't think that's possible. Silky jumping way too far, and he's going to have way too little speed. And it does look like Kato is going to be able to get that fourth place. But it's no point for Team Denmark, unfortunately. And Pika is going to win the map for Portugal. And it's going to be a point for Team Portugal. Team Portugal is now going to be on that match point. I don't know what the next map is, guys, unfortunately. Okay, let's look at Silky. He usually is playing really well, and we already have a fail from Jnic hitting the inside wall on the very, very start of the map. You hate to see it. That is unfortunate. It's now up to Pika and Silky to see if they can make it for the first and third place or first and second place, because it is pretty safe to say that Jnic is going to be out of this match. Let's take a look from Jacktor's point of view. He is a little bit behind, and we need to see Kato and Radiant step it up in terms of speed if they want to make any sort of... Oh, and we have Pika with the mistake. Pika with the mistake, and now Denmark just has to drive safe, and they're going to get the point here. Portugal completely throwing away their match point, and it does look like if Denmark just drives safe, it's going to be a match point against match point on match 25. On map 25 is what I meant to say. Really, really close map here. Really close map. It's been back and forth. First game, Portugal wins. Second game, Denmark. Third round, Portugal. Fourth round, Denmark. Fifth round, Portugal. It's been back and forth every single time. And all the way up until the finish here, Jacktor does make a mistake. And is he going to get 6th place? Jacktor with the mistake. Is this round actually going to go to Portugal? I don't think so. I think Jacktor is still 5th. And it's still going to be the Danish point. And it's going to be match point against match point. Match point against match point. Very, very interesting. We got to cross our fingers for the team that you're cheering for. Okay, jumping into the final round on map 25. Let's take a look here at Kato. Kato is usually with the really good lines, one of the best players in Denmark right now. And he does go for a super inside line right here. Oh, and we have a mistake. We have a mistake from, I think it was Jacktor, who has to reset all the way from the start. It is up to Radiance and Kato to get first and second, or first and third, or Denmark is completely out of this round. Jacktor leaves the game in a fit of rage, and it's gonna be up to Kato and Radiance to literally just get first and second. If Kato and Radiance don't get first and second, it's out. They can get first and third, and they might actually tie the round because of it. If they do that, then... Oh, we have a mistake from Pika, and Kato and Radiance might be able to take this round home for Denmark, even though they're the only 2 players playing right now. They're 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds ahead of Portugal. Portugal completely falling apart in the last round right here. And Radiance and Kato are just gonna cruise control into the finish line. Holy crap, what a last round. Woo. What a round. So many mistakes. It must be the nerves getting to the people. And Denmark will take map 25 home. Woo! Jacktor rage quit. Radiance just told us in chat that Jacktor rage quit the game, so we're not gonna see Jacktor in the next game. That is unfortunate. We do have the next map here, which looks to be map 5. I don't think map 5 was banned, so I think it's gonna be map 5. Very, very interesting. But that's pretty fun. We have a rage quit from the Danish team, but they still won the map. Yeah, that would be an unfortunate element. Yeah, I saw Cooper. So, this is not going to be the next map, though. It's going to be map 10, it seems like. It does seem like map 10 is going to be the map that is going to be played. Now, I do have 2 minutes to quickly explain to you how to play map 10 while we are going to spectate one of the players while we talk about map 10 here. So, looking at Kato, what you want to do here in the beginning is if you want to go fast, you want to do a left to right. But everybody is going to elect to jump straight. Then you actually want to drive to the right of that pillar. Kato did not do that. Want to make sure you don't drift right here. So you want to do an air brake right after you exit the drop down to make sure you land with all 4 wheels directly, firmly planted on the ground. Then you want to do a release here. You want to release just enough to make you able to accelerate and still do the turn. It's a little bit difficult, but we're gonna see if people, I bet you guys that people are gonna mess up this last jump and mess up that final turn right here. So I'm gonna highlight some of the more important turns. This is a really important turn right here. Usually I start to release my accelerator right around this portion of the track. Then I continue to release until I am kind of in the middle of this turn where I know that I'm able to accelerate for the rest of the turn without touching the outside wall right here. But a lot of people are going to touch the outside wall. You can be sure of it. Now for this jump, we're going to see a lot of people release the accelerator to be able to land a little sooner on the ground over here to get a good entrance into this turn. Now for this jump right here, which you're going to see, what you want to do is when you drive down here, you can see that there's an arrow. There's 3 arrows pointing down right here. Players are going to aim for this arrow. Players are going to aim for driving straight towards this arrow, because if you do that, you're going to land directly in the middle of the road right here, okay? So to summarize, what you want to do is you want to drive to the left of, or to the right of this here pillar. You want to make sure you don't drift on this turn. Don't drift on this turn. You want to release on this turn. You want to release for that jump, and you want to aim for the arrows on this jump. Those are the highlights that we're going to look at when we see this match go down here. Okay. So far, the score is 2 maps for Denmark and 1 map for Portugal. Looking at Dunster, everybody seems to be neck and neck. Denmark does seem to have 3 players in the top 4 positions, though. Oh, and we have a mistake from Pika touching the... oh, my God. We have multiple people touching the outside right there. Let's take a look at Jake Ray. He's going to be behind, but it does look like Dunster and Kato is going to get first and third. And it does look like Denmark is going to take the first point on map 10. But can they keep the momentum going is the question. Okay, taking a look at Pika this time. I think everybody's going to be pretty much equal here in the start. We're going to see people going for the inside line on the pillar right there. It's going to increase your speed a little bit. You want to make sure you don't land in a drift right here, as Pika did. That is so unfortunate. The reason he landed in a drift right there is because he did a quick left to right before the drop down. You really don't want to do that. You want to make sure you don't steer at the drop down. And it does look like all top 5 players right here did not touch the outside wall. And you can see some players select to go super low in the jump right there and jumping towards this section, and Denmark is going to take it home for 0.2 out of 2. Denmark seems to have map 10 in the bag as for now, but again, can they keep it going? Can they keep it going? Let's look at Dunster for the next round here. Everybody seems to do it pretty decently here. You can see that before they drop down, they don't turn their car at all. They actually do no steering motions at all. And right when they drop down, they hit that. They do hit that air brake button to make sure that they don't land in a drift. Now, Frev is trying to get that first place right here, but he takes such an inside line that he has to release. And Jake Ray is going to take first. Dunster does seem to be able to hold second. Kato on third, and Denmark is going to take the third round of map 10. Now keep in mind, if Denmark wins this map, they're gonna progress further into the tournament, and Portugal is gonna go into the losers bracket, I think, for the first rounds here. I'm not 100% sure what the tournament format is. Don't question it. I'm a caster. Dunster going super to the left. We already have one mistake. One mistake. Who was that from? It was from somebody on the Portuguese team. Let's take a look at Jnic right here. We have Dunster, Jnic, Kato, Jnic, and Frev left. And it does look like Frev got such a good line, and he's going to be able to maintain so much more speed. Jnic and Frev on second and third, but it does not look like it's enough for the Portuguese to take home this point. Unless, oh, Jnic almost sniped the point from Dunster, and Jnic and Dunster literally got the same time, down to the 1,000th of a second. But Dunster did take the point. Dunster did take the point. Not sure why, though. So Denmark is going to get the point. And it's going to be 4-0 to Denmark. But very cool to see the players match each other's time down to the 1,000th of a second. Everybody seems to have a good start right here. Nobody's hitting that drift. Dunster in front. Kato, Frev right behind him. Pika going for the inside line right there. Let's see who gets the best line right here. Everybody seems to be neck and neck still. This is such a good round. Very, very nice. Nobody hits the tree. People going for pretty much the same line. Jnic with the most exit speed. Jnic with such a high amount of exit speed as well. But Pika seems to get third, and it's going to be Portugal. Portugal is still holding themselves alive against Denmark on the match point. That's such a good race. Well done, both teams right there. Whew. I need water. This is hard to, it's hard to cast like this. Taking a look at Pika from the Portuguese team. He does seem to get some risky lines going for inside pole on both the first and second pole right here. Let's see if everybody gets the no drift. Nobody's starting to drift, and you can see Pika here going in between the poles. It does save a little bit of time, but it's a little bit more risky. Let's see if everybody gets the release right here. Pika is going to touch the outside, and we're going to look at Frev. If Frev and Jnic can still get first and third, or first and second, they're going to take it, but Frev had to release so much, and if Aztec Dunster and if Kato, it looks like Denmark is going to take the point. And Jnic does do a little bit of a mistake right there, and Denmark takes the 5th point. And Denmark is going to reach the point limit, and it's going to be 3-1 for Denmark. And there you have it. There you have it. Denmark gets the win against Portugal. Very, very well played by both the teams. A pleasure to watch, and thank you guys for watching it. It was super good. I had very much fun with I had a lot of fun spectating this and trying to do my cast. It was my first cast, so please let me know how I did. I thought it was super fun. Honestly, my throat is dead, but it was super fun casting for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you did enjoy it.